I look weird on this one. I don't even look like me. I think I look like actually quite manly on this one. I don't know with my hair like this. But anyway, I'm going to have to wash it off in a minute. So with that in mind, I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. So my mum said my dad had done all of that. She went and put something out in the bin. It was around 9 o'clock at night on the 11th of... No, that would have been the 10th. I mean, we say the 11th. I think it was pronounced dead on the 11th. But really, it was probably the 10th of August. Because it went on for so long. But on the 10th of August, about 9 o'clock, 2011... Mum went out. My dad had come back after doing what I said he'd done. She put out something in the garden, and then she was at the bottom of the garden. They've got a huge garden like ours. They've got a massive garden, especially like our front and side one. Absolutely huge. I mean, one of the biggest gardens you could see. And she heard this thump from there, and they've had an extension built. They were in the middle of it when my dad died, so the bins were further down the garden than they would have been without the extension. So she heard it from there, this thump. Like, my dad was 6 foot. He was 6 feet tall. He wasn't a small guy. He wasn't massively tall, but he was average to tall, or slightly above average. And you can imagine, he was slim. He was about 10, 11 stones, something like that, maybe 11 and a half. He always tried to keep himself slim, like I said, tried to go to gym, and a lot of that would have been muscle. So you could hear him when he fell. And she did, from that distance. She went upstairs, found him on the floor. She thinks he was already gone then, he'd already died then. But my brother came racing across from a different part of town. Obviously, we followed after my brother at some point. And my mum, although my brother tried to revive him, I knew. I just didn't know what to say. I just stunned. I was in shock. I just stood there. My brother looked like he was holding the tears back. That's what I knew. And I said goodbye. We said goodbye. We didn't have an open casket, as they call it, an open coffin. The coffin was closed, and we said goodbye when, well, just before he was buried. I went in the room and just spoke to him. But I don't even know how to describe that night. If he'd eaten healthily, if he'd cut down smoking many years before, would he still be here? Would I have had my dad in my life? This, back then, youngish woman, his daughter, her dad died when she was 34 because of that. I really, really, I feel like telling people, you know, I feel like telling the story to people, but it's not any of my business to go about doing that when I see people smoking, and it's their business, so I don't want to make them feel bad. But I feel like warning people. It's only to help them. It's nothing negative. But today, it's been 13 years, and I still miss him. I always will. I was close to my dad growing up as a young child, and I hoped that we got close again as I grew up and got older. The last thing I remember saying to my dad was, I actually got on at him, which I didn't normally do. I won't say I don't know if an argument is right. Normally he'd say something, but again, he was quiet. But it was over something stupid, and that's the last thing I said to him. I'll never forget that. How do you live with it? Hey, guys. How does a person live with the regret? Strange thing was, I was going to go to the house, and my mum, I don't know if my mum didn't quite get what was going off, but she said he had like a problem in his arm. Now, I know if you get tingling or pain or problem in the arm, this is mirror image, this is where my heart is, but obviously I'm here in front of you guys. If it's that arm and you get gripping pains, in fact, I'm going to put like the signs of heart attacks, because there are so many more signs of heart attacks. Then as soon as my mum said my dad's arm felt a bit weird, there wasn't a tingling or numbness or cramp, anything like that, and nothing anywhere else. So there weren't any real signs, but she said it felt a bit strange. First thing I said is heart attack. If we'd have been there, we'd have thought heart attack. If it had got worse, we'd have phoned the ambulance, but I don't know if they'd have ever been able to revive him, because we wondered if they'd got there sooner, would they have been, but his arteries are completely blocked. The arteries are supposed to move. They harden over the years of your life. They're supposed to harden when you smoke more quickly prematurely. They're supposed to harden if you don't eat right things, look after your body. It's that hardening that means that the fats don't move through properly. And then that means in turn that it starts sticking to your arteries. And that's when you end up like my dad. I mean, there are things that science has changed since then, the NHS, things like that, not much. But they couldn't save my dad. But you know what? I will never, ever, he's my dad. Won't forget him. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Bye.